Hello chess fans, this is Rick from Chess to Impress with the second video in the mini-series on coronavirus, COVID-19 and chess. In the first video we looked at social distancing. I'll put a link up here if you have not watched it yet. Tomorrow we're going to look at the spreading of the virus, but in this video we're going to look at the king going into quarantine. Let's have a look what that is about. And it's all about this position. It's a composition published in the Russian chess magazine 64, a composition made by the composer with the name of Stulnikov. It was published in 1930. It is white to play and draw. We have a king and pawn endgame. Both players have 4 pawns, but it doesn't look great for white. He's about to lose the a-pawn, and then black's a-pawn will run for it. And if white goes to stop that a-pawn, then the black king will use the a-pawn as a deflection and will run towards white's pawns. It does not look great for white. But still he can make a draw. Let's first look at what does not work. What if white plays king f4, trying to create a pass pawn himself? Well, then black does win. Let's have a look. King takes a6, king takes f5, king b5, out of the way of the a-pawn. White also creates a free road for his own pawn, but white is too slow. a5, and now it's simple counting. Black only needs 4 more moves to queen, and white needs to move the king out of the way, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pawn moves. So that's 6 moves, while black only needs 4, and black will win. Let's go through it anyway, just to see how black will win with that white pawn on the 7th rank. Only 1 step away from queening, but there is queen g7. Only one of the moves that wins. Other moves win as well. Pinning the f-pawn, so king e8, threatening to promote again. And there's many ways to win. King c6 is a nice one, just letting the pawn promote because of mate in 1. Do you see it? Yes, queen d7 is checkmate. Just to show you one variation. So in the initial position we saw that king f4 trying to create a pass pawn for white does not work. Let's look at something else. Let's see if we can stop that a-pawn. Let's play king d4 and let's go through a variation to see that this does not work for white. Black takes the pawn, king goes out of the way, and yes, we can stop the a-pawn, but it doesn't help white much. The black king picks up the f-pawn, and this is a simple win. Out of the way, and black will just play f3, f2 and make a new queen and will win this game. So we saw that making a pass pawn yourself does not work with white. Stopping the black a-pawn does not work either. We have to make a draw. How do we do it? Well, the first move is h5, h6. And how does that help white? Well, it looks like the only point is that if black plays a very silly move like f4 check, then the first move that white played, h6, makes sense. Let's just go through that variation. King f5, king b5, and now white is on time, as we'll see. There goes the black pawn running down the board, but because the h-pawn of white's is so far advanced, he still is just on time. a2, h7, and both players queen at the same time, and this game is a draw. But that first move from black after white played h6, f5, f4 check is a very silly move. Of course, after h6, black will not play that. He will just continue with his plan, take the pawn. And it looks like white just has lost time with that h6 move. That pawn does not go any further. But still, white can make a draw by playing f4. And what does that move do? That pawn also is stuck on f4, can't go any further, and it looks like white again has lost time. Black just goes on with his plan, making room for the a-pawn, and must feel very confident here. King f3, what does that do? There goes the pawn. King g3, a4, king h4, where is that king going? Well, it is going into quarantine. And that will save the day, that will keep him alive. a3, king h5, a2, h4, closing the door. The king is now firmly quarantined and whatever black plays, for example, promotion to a queen, this game is a draw because it is stalemate. None of the pawns have a legal move and neither does the king. All these squares are taken by black's pawns and his own pawns are in the way. The king is in quarantine on h5 and white has got his draw. And there was nothing that black could do about it. Wonderful, a genius composition by Stulnikov, published in 1930. Hope you enjoyed it. So we have seen social distancing in chess, we've seen the quarantined king, and tomorrow in the last video in this mini-series we're going to look at how the virus can spread in chess. Hope you will watch that video as well. And if you like this video, I hope you will give it a thumbs up, that you will subscribe to the Chess to Impress channel and that you leave a comment. I will read them all and I will reply to them all. If you like the video, it would be great if you could share it on social media by clicking the share button on YouTube. You can find me on Instagram, on Twitter and on Facebook. This is Rick for Chess to Impress. Thank you for watching.